Weird.
Oh, shit.
What?
Okay.
Drop my phone.
I think that the two screens are really telltale of who we are as people.
What?
If you just look back and forth in the background, if you're like, I'm going to use the background to determine what kind of people these people are. Yours is velvet and neat with a little logo.
Well, there's a reason we put it up against the wall.
Yeah, it's just
That was on purpose.
disaster over there.
I should do that.
It's a facade. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Take It or Leave It, an Advice-ish podcast hosted by, I don't remember, us, I guess.
It is hosted by us.
Okay. My name is Meredith Masony, I think.
I'm Tiffany Jenkins. Maybe we did need the paper. You got to do it. Welcome to Take It or Leave It, an Advice-ish podcast for parents.
You can download this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or anywhere where you can find the podcasts. My name is Meredith Masony.
And I'm your host, Tiffany Jenkins. This podcast will discuss everything marriage, motherhood, and everything in between. Please remember that we're not professionals at anything you may actually need. So any advice we give you, you could take
Or leave because it might be crap.
Nailed it.
Wait, Phil, can we please transcribe all of that? This is our new opening moving forward.
Okay.
Please, no.
So they're in here telling us our open, by the way. They're typing it out line by line. They're like, Tiffany Jenkins, I'm Meredith. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for the help. We totally appreciate that. We have been off for a little bit because of the touring schedule. And so we're home. So we wanted to jump on and say hi to you guys.
I just woke up.
Happy birthday, Tiffany.
Happy belated.
Thank you so much. I'm finally 21. It feels good, guys, to be able to drink legally and stuff.
Good for you. Good for you.
Okay.
Well,
Way to not make it awkward.
Sophia was all excited. She's like, it's her birthday. Can I tell her happy birthday? And I said, yes. And then, did you see the message?
No, I forgot to go back and open it.
Well, you can watch it when you have a minute. But
Okay.
She's special.
It's anticlimactic.
Really? I thought she loved me.
She does, but then she got embarrassed and then she
Shut down.
Yeah. So I was getting ready to do a Wines Day episode last night and I got a terrible migraine. So I had to take Excedrin and go to bed, but I have all of the Wines Day stories, so I thought we could talk about that.
Oh, fun.
Because I have those. But then why don't we talk a little bit about what you've been doing? Because I'm super proud.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Meredith. I got a birthday treadmill 6 days ago. And I have run on it every single day. And every single day it says most calories burned and farthest distance. So I think I'm pushing myself more and more every day. I haven't gone today because, like I said, my eyes just opened. But I will be going today because for the first time in years, sweat is on my body. And it feels weird and good at the same time.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I saw you post some pictures of it, and then I was, we texted, but it's good because I'm glad you're finding some enjoyment. I know it's not really your jam, but
here's why I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Because I get to do whatever the F I want. I don't thrive in an environment where somebody is aggressively yelling at me and telling me I can do it, because that just makes me want to not do it. Like, intrinsically, for some reason, when somebody's like, you got this, keep pushing, I just hit stop on whatever I'm watching. And I'm like, no, shut up. And I'm done. But here I can set my own pace. I can choose to have a person there or not. And to be honest with you, I've been hitting my stride, like my best numbers, when there's no person at all. And I'm just watching Slasher on Netflix.
Slasher.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is that?
I mean, it's what it sounds like.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And I just pretend like I'm running from a murderer. And it's like, so you could do whatever you want and create whatever fantasy You want
That's your fantasy, running away from a murderer?
No, it's not my fantasy, but I'm saying a fantasy is something that's not real. But
Okay.
you know what I mean? And so I'm like, I'm watching and I'm like, oh no.
Do you turn the lights off
It's in the garage.
and have some
no. You know what you
spooky
should
music?
do? You know what you should do? You should buy a couple of fake plants and put them all around the treadmill. So like when you're running, it's like you're running through the woods. You come out every now and again and put on like a Freddy Krueger mask and like
So stupid.
be like, "Bah!" And then your heart rate will go way up. It'll be awesome. You should
That's
totally
a genius idea.
You should totally do that. What happened? Did I blow out the mic?
A little bit.
Okay, sorry.
Always.
I got all excited.
Yeah, it's exciting. I feel good, man.
So what'd you do for your birthday?
My son was born on my birthday. What do you think I did on my birthday?
Okay, so you had a birthday party for your son.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, my birthday is spent making sure that he has the time of his life and he feels loved and he feels special.
So what was your birthday party theme?
Well, the birthday party's not till Saturday.
Oh.
But I still wanted to do something yesterday for him on his actual birthday. So can I ask you a question?
What?
And I need you to tell me if I am in fact wrong. Because if I'm wrong, it'll actually make me feel better. But also, I don't know if I should talk about this on the podcast because in case my child's teacher gets wind of it, and I don't want her to think that I'm talking negatively. Should I not?
We're already there.
Oh.
Hypothetically speaking, if as a mother, you send in your child on their birthday with cupcakes for the class, napkins, and plates, but no note, and you don't give the teacher any heads up because you just remembered the night before, let's say hypothetically, that you should do that. And then you send the kid to school with this stuff, little mini cupcakes, plates, and napkins. No note, no warning to the teacher whatsoever. And you send them, and you assume that at some point they're going to eat these cupcakes and sing happy birthday. And then when your hypothetically child comes home from school and you're like, so did you guys have cupcakes? How'd it go? And they say, no, my teacher said you needed to send a note. She didn't have time scheduled out for it. And then you say, well, did they sing happy birthday? And he said, no. Would you be mad or would you be mad at yourself?
Did the cupcakes get returned?
No.
So
this
what
means,
cupcakes?
huh?
So where are the cupcakes?
Maybe she's planning on carving out time today to do it.
Maybe.
I'm assuming she has to schedule it in because listen, I own my apartment. I'm just like a bougie biatch who's like, here, prepare these and make a mini celebration for my child. I don't care what's on your schedule. Make time. You know what I'm saying? That's me. That's my part in it. However, realistically, I sang happy birthday yesterday to time it. It doesn't take that long. So then the other part of me is like, no. And then I'm thinking maybe, I mean, you got to know when people's birthdays are right ahead of time. You know this is coming. But that's not my part in it. So I can't assume or expect other people to act the way I want them. So in your opinion, how would you feel? If hypothetically.
Did you send a note today?
No. Because I didn't know if I should be nice or not nice. Hypothetically. I didn't.
I mean, I think I don't understand. It's not a long thing to sit some kids down and have some cupcakes. It maybe would take 10 minutes.
Right, but
mini cupcake.
If you have a schedule for your day and now suddenly you have.
Okay.
I guess, was she trying to prove a point, like the principle of it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what she was trying to prove, and I don't know. And I also don't corral large amounts of small children.
Exactly.
But I would also hope that today he comes home and says, well, they sang today and we ate the cupcakes today. Because if not, then it's like, what the hell? Right. Why would you have not done that? Especially since you knew I sent the cupcakes in. Clearly, he told you it's my birthday today. It's like,
Right.
well, I'm glad it's your birthday, but there's no note. There's no note. So
Yeah.
that's a little weird if you ask me. Are they here?
Should I do two alternate things in case he comes home today and he's like, they did do it? So do I say now? But the good news is she did it today.
Uh-huh.
And then have Phil put that in just in case. But yeah, she didn't do it today either. And then whatever the answer is when he gets home in a couple of hours, we put that version in.
Well, yeah, no.
If this was hypothetically my family, which it's not.
Right. Well, since it's not, what I would tell the person who it is, I would definitely, if no cupcakes occurred today and no birthday occurred today, I would write a note and say, I'm just curious as to why, once again, the cupcakes that I sent in weren't distributed. I apologize for not having a note, but as my child said yesterday, it was in fact his birthday and we sent the cupcakes. I'm sorry that I didn't write a note. My apologies.
Yeah.
But could we please serve the cupcakes and sing happy birthday because now he's 35?
Okay, I'll do that. I'm sure it's fine. And again, I want to go on public record and say I completely understand that I cannot expect other people to stop whatever they're doing to make time for me and my kids.
I would assume it's going to happen today. That's my gut feeling.
Okay, cool.
You know,
In that
like
case,
lunch or something.
Yeah, thanks. But all right, cool. I guess I was having trouble processing my emotions and I wanted an outsider's opinion about it. Like, do I have a right to feel angry for 3 hours after hearing the news, which would have hypothetically happened yesterday? Or, do I not?
Well,
Anyway.
I think it's the same thing I tell my hypothetical family. It's your choice to hold on to that anger.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's, it's your choice. You can't control other people's actions.
Exactly.
You can't control their actions and you can choose to hold on to the anger, but when they duct tape it to you, you're forced to carry it.
All right. Well, nobody's duct taped anger to you. So I need you to calm down.
That was a close one. I almost spit my water all over this microphone.
But yeah, so somebody here feels like anger has been duct taped to him, but that's not the case. So it's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to just gloss over that and move on to the next thing. All right. So we do have some Wines Day stories that I found on the interwebs because I love to find random internet trash. So this one was interesting. Dave texted it to me. A mountain goat turned the tables, or as Tiffany would say, how the turns have tabled. Right? Did I say it right? How the turns have tabled. A mountain goat turned the tables and used its dagger-like horns to kill a grizzly bear.
Whoa.
Now think of this. Mountain goat, grizzly bear, right? A mountain goat with dagger-like horns, used again in the story, killed an unlikely predator, a grizzly bear. That's the consensus of some forensic how do you say this word, Dave? Necropsy?
Yeah.
Necropsy?
It's for dead things.
It's an autopsy. An animal autopsy is called necropsy. That can't be right. On the body of a female bear found over Labor Day weekend, according to David Laskin, a Parks Canada wildlife ecologist. Grizzly bear predation of mountain goats is relatively common, meaning grizzly bears eat mountain goats. However, the mountain goat turned the tables on the bear with a successful defense and killed it. It was 100 and...
This is what you talk about on Wednesday.
Yeah. 100.
The most random nonsense.
It was like 140, 150 pound bear, which seemed small.
Yeah, that's way less than I weigh.
I just feel like that's a small bear. And mountain goats can actually weigh the same, if not more. So I felt like that was kind of evenly matched.
Yeah.
Bear to goat ratio.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But bears usually don't go as high up because the mountain goats live in the mountains and they don't like that rockiness. So somehow they crossed paths and this mountain goat was like, not today, bitch. And it killed the bear. And I was like, damn, nature's turned. Did I use that right?
So they did the necropsy. Did they say how the bear passed? Did the bear fall?
No, horns to the neck and armpit area. And it literally like railed the sucker into the mountain, killed it.
So it was like it lined up perfectly for death. It
lined up perfectly. And it was trying to eat the mountain goat, but no go.
It's like a slasher movie.
So now you can, in your fantasy, you can have grizzlies and mountain goats.
So I have a question. How do they figure this out? Are there people who go out on the mountains regularly to look for dead animals and study them?
I would assume the park rangers go out, ecologists, and they check things out, talk to the mountain goats. Apparently, they heard there was a haps.
They pull out their notebooks. They're like, you want to tell us what happened here, man? Interview them. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
looking a little bit gruff out here today.
No. No.
Yeah.
Come on, Billy.
Come on, Billy. Help us out. Tell us the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
You're a dweeb.
Oh, man. I cried a little. I got a tear. Okay.
Your own joke.
Moving on. If you didn't know it, this past week, there was a world record attempt in Chicago to gather 178 canine couples to break the world record for the largest dog wedding ceremony.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
That's what I thought.
No. They were getting married doggy style in Chicago, and it was a doozy. Village Park President Nick Cuzzone is the officiant of the dog wedding ceremony, which Allison Seeley said will include canines from across the metropolitan Chicago area. The doggy speed dating event goes round robin where the dogs meet each other and then they match and marry in the largest dog ceremony ever.
So this is like an arranged marriage. And I don't think that's fair. I think that the dog should get to choose who they marry.
Maybe some of them showed up with a mate, and the ones who were single wanted to be involved in the speed dating. We'd have to do some more.
Did they give consent?
Yes, they'd have to give some more research.
Okay.
I mean, let's remember we're talking about doggy speed dating.
Yeah. Is it dating or just marriage? Are they is it a day of actual weddings?
I think it's a wedding, but I think it's also all fake because they're dogs.
Who's doing this? Who did this?
Leslie Allison C., chair of the Villa Park Community Focus on Unifying Neighbors Commission, or FUN, got together with President Nick Cuzzone, who was the officiant for the dog wedding ceremony.
So it's like a neighborhood?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
You seem very worried about these dogs who are speed dating.
First of all, I didn't know dogs could get married. Let's start there. I didn't know that was a thing. Do they have little paw rings? Do they live together? And I don't know what this means.
No, I don't think they actually go home together. I think it's just for show. All right. Residents of a small Colorado town are pleading for the return of a stolen phone booth that serves as the centerpiece of the public park for the past several decades.
People suck.
Cope resident Vicky Cecil said, and Lanny Payne said the booth was a major landmark in the town, which only has about 56 people, for the past 50 years. So I feel like this is a very small list of people who have stolen. The booth, in its functioning years, originally sat outside of the Conco gas station, but later became an ornamental feature at the Memorial Park. The residents said the booth didn't have phone service, but often drew travelers who would pose for photos. We never hooked it up because of the cost. You know, it just doesn't make sense these days. Residents said the theft had been reported to the Washington County Sheriff's Office. It was just enough. Are you leaving? Okay, so what do I do when we're done?
I'll be back.
Oh, Lord. It was just kind of a novelty. It was just sad that somebody would, steal the phone book, she said. Phone booth. We thought it was a significant piece of our town history, and we'd really like it back.
So it could have been a traveler.
Could have been a traveler, but here's the other thing. You have to know. You have to have an intention to steal a phone booth because that's a large... You
can't just throw it in the back of your Civic.
It's not like, well, we're here. We should steal the phone booth. And it's like, well, you have to have adequate trunk space. You can't fit that in a trunk. You have to have a truck. You need to have straps to tie it down. You need to have some padding. There's glass. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, you have to know you want to steal that. And why are you stealing it?
What if it was aliens?
Okay. All right. Let's go down that road. What if it was aliens?
What if they're like, this thing has been here for a long time. Let's beam it up and see what's going on. You're the best. Thank you.
Oh, wow. It's a violent toss. Is that what I think it is?
Drugs?
No. I did not think it was drugs.
Lozenges?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I need it.
Oh, Daddy left. You gonna come over here? Come on. Come on. Dave left, so guess who's coming over? Come on.
I feel bad for this town, and if this is some kind of TikTok bullcrap, I will hunt down the perpetrator myself and smack him in the throat.
Well, and side note, not that we have to talk about it a ton, but it's still going on, and apparently it hasn't slowed down, but
it has to have slowed down.
The devious licks?
Yeah, it has to have.
I'm still getting emails from my kid's school about the bathrooms. So if you guys don't know what it is, kids are going in and recording themselves and taking pictures of stealing school items from school, whether it's, kids are walking out with stall doors. How do you get out of the school with a stall door?
Start charging them with felonies.
There's cameras everywhere, though. How are they leaving? They have to know who they are. They have to know who these kids are. And if they're not charging them, then shame on the school because they need to be charging them.
Oh my gosh, we sound like such old ladies.
Who steals a toilet?
You said shame on the school. They need to be charging these kids.
Because they do. It's crazy.
I agree. I hate it. I think it's so stupid.
Sophia came home and she was like, I almost peed my pants because they locked the bathroom. We couldn't go in and I couldn't get across campus to use the other bathroom that was unlocked because they have teachers now have to this is how stupid it is. Teachers now have to monitor they have to stand there outside the bathrooms while the kids use them to make sure they're not vandalizing and stealing out of the damn bathrooms.
It's so sad.
It is. Teachers don't get paid enough for this. The schools don't have enough money to what's the word? Replenish it. Yeah, they don't have enough money for this kind of stuff. Like, what the heck, man?
It's for likes. That's the worst part.
I know.
Wow. I hate it. The world is in a place where people will do anything to get a couple of likes. And it's so stupid.
It is just.
This is the part where we cut to me dressed up like Aladdin with blue paint trying to get likes in my video. But, there's a
big difference between what we do for entertainment and what these kids are doing. And you're right. And that's why I talk to my kids a lot about, the stuff that they're seeing online. And even though only one of them has social media, they still come home and they'll ask me to see my phone or ask to see the iPad because they want to look at something on TikTok or whatever. And while I'm sitting there, it's like, okay, you can look because I'm sitting here with you. And then they'll show me something. I'm like, that's so stupid. And they're like, no, this is the best. And I'm like, this is dumb. Let me tell you why. And then they sit there not listening to me explain why what this person is doing, because not only is it dangerous, but it's stupid. And they're doing this solely to get likes. And then, oh my God, Mom, whatever. Like, whatever. And it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But I had to have a really tough conversation with my oldest last night because he's over it. He's so done with the pandemic. He doesn't want to have to follow rules anymore. He just wants to go and do whatever he wants. He's now been robbed of his going into his second year of high school. They're not having a homecoming dance again. They're not having, these events and activities. And he's just done. He's over it. And he's like, I don't understand. All these other kids in the neighborhood, they do whatever they want and their parents don't care and whatever. And I was like, well, their parents are their friends. I'm not your friend. It's my job to tell you that you can't do X, Y, and Z right now because it isn't safe or whatever. And it was an hour and a half of that last night and just anger and frustration. And he was all entitled to his anger and frustration. And I told him, go ahead and get it out. But unfortunately, it doesn't change what tomorrow looks like. Like it's just going to take time. And he's mad. He's angry. And he's also gotten bullied a little bit at school because kids have found out who his mom is. And so they're going online and they're screenshotting and they're sending each other and they're making fun of him for posts I've made, posts where he's been on my page. And so we sat down and had a talk and I said, tell me what you're not okay with me posting. And it stops. I said, if it involves you or if it's like, I won't do it. I said, you're at an age. I respect that. I will not. If you don't want it posted, you tell me. If I take a picture of you and you say, no, mom, don't post that, no problem. I was like, I get it. And it's not your fault. Kids make fun of you for something that I do. That's you're allowed to be upset about that. But he kept it in for like a couple of weeks and I could tell he was mad at me, but he wouldn't tell me why. And then it just came out last night and I was like, okay. I said, look, we can work on that. I was like, I get it. You're a teenager. Kids are assholes. And they're picking on you and sending messages and blah, blah, blah. Like I will, if you don't want something up or you don't want something discussed or talked about, no problem.
Dang.
But it doesn't make him feel better because he's being, picked on because of what his mom does.
That's so tough.
So, I felt really bad. And so then I felt like an asshole because I was like, never would I post something thinking that kids would make fun of you for it. Right.
Right.
Or never would I want to post something that just has to do with me and have your friends make fun of you for it.
I try to going forward, I try to think about that stuff all the time. And I know you do too, but I'm like, there's been some videos of my kids that I know would embarrass the crap out of them, dude, when they got older. So even though they'd be hilarious, I don't post them because I'm just so paranoid about that. And even me, I think about the day that people go to school and they're like, oh, your mom used to do a bunch of drugs in an alley and do it with drug dealers. Huh? That scares me a lot. And I don't know how I'll cope with that when the time comes. But we live in a world of content creators nowadays. Everybody's a freaking content creator. And so I think it's going to be a much bigger problem in the future.
Well, and I think what you have to do is just sit down and be honest and, say, yeah, mom has a past, dad has a past. Every person on this planet has a past. We just chose to be public and share so that we could help others.
Yeah. That's
going to be hard. And there are going to be kids who are going to make fun and that's going to be hard, but I'm always here. Your dad is always here and we're always here to talk. And, but it's just, it's tough. It's tough. None of it is easy. Right.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well, that was a sidetrack. Let's go over to Winnie the
Mountain Goats.
Let's go back to Winnie the Pooh's cottage. Because guess what? It's available for rental stays in England.
I'm sorry. Was Winnie the Pooh a real person?
He's a real bear.
And he had a cottage?
He has a cottage. A cottage inspired by the home of Winnie the Pooh is available for rent in England to celebrate the beloved character's 95th anniversary. The Bear B&B cottage.
You're so stupid.
A partnership between Disney and Airbnb. Bear B&B.
Yeah, we got it.
was designed in East Sussex Ashdown Forest by Kim Raymond, an artist who had been drawing poo for over 30 years. Raymond said she used details from the A.A. Maline's book to make the cottage as accurate a representation of poos as possible. The cottage bears Mr. Sanders sign above the door, and the cupboards are stocked with pots labeled honey. Visitors who rent the cottage will be treated to guided tours of the 100-acre woods. Rounds of poo sticks, a game play by dropping sticks from Poo Sticks Bridge. And the cottage is also stocked with yoga mats, journals, and throw blankets to encourage visitors to embrace their natural surroundings and live more like Pooh, who lived at his own pace. Single night stays in the cottage are around $130 a night. Steal of a deal.
Cool.
But the rules include keeping your hands out of the honey pot. Because it's poos. Okay.
I don't want to live, when you say live like poo, it just, I feel like I'm already there.
Winnie the Pooh.
You mean
Winnie
there.
the Pooh. Okay. Sheriff's deputies in Wisconsin responded to an unusual situation when multiple 911 callers reported a pair of loose zebras walking down the middle of the road.
Wait,
what?
Where was this at?
Wisconsin.
Do they have a zoo there?
Hold on. The Outagamie County Sheriff's Office said 2 zebras were rounded up after being spotted on a Seymour area road. David Haupt, one of the 911 callers, captured the video when he spotted the 2 African equines walking down the middle of the road outside the city. They were a distance off, and as I got closer, I thought, there's some horses. Wait, that's a zebra. Haupt said the zebras appeared friendly when he got out of the car and guided them off to a field. Deputies arrived and found out that this pair of zebras was not from a zoo, rather was owned privately by someone in the area.
For why?
For why is the real question of this entire story, is why do you live in Wisconsin and own 2 zebra?
See, that's wild. So do you get to a point where is there a purpose?
I don't know.
Are they rich people who are like, I'm going to own a zebra? Or has the owner spoken out about why the F they're owning zebras and why they can't keep them in their damn house?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they must do an investigation after this just to see how the zebras got out and what the deal is. You also have to have, if you own an exotic animal, you have to have licenses and you have to, if you're doing it on the up and up, you have to register the animal, right? Because certain states have laws that you can't own certain types of animals.
Yeah.
But my question is, why in Wisconsin are you like, you know what? Zebras are okay. We're going to keep it on the list. It's a cool window. Why do you want to own a zebra?
I can't, I have no idea. But if I was going to own one, I'd make sure that it and its friend didn't get loose.
I would check to make sure that both Zed.
I'm surprised. I feel like if TikTokers had discovered the zebras, they'd be like, bro, film it. I'm going to ride the effing zebra down. And then there's going to be a new trend called zebra licks. And they're just going to run around riding zebras.
Yeah. Maybe. All right. The 2021 Toy Hall of Fame finalists have arrived. Is one of your favorite toys on the list? Well, let's find out. The National Toy Hall of Fame in New York announced 12 finalists for the 2021 induction ceremony, including the following toys: the American Girl doll, Battleship, billiards, which is the game of pool, just pool.
Okay.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Okay.
The Fisher Price corn popper. Do you remember that?
Yes. No, that needs to go in the garbage.
What is this? It's that game that the old people play. Mahjong?
Never heard of it.
Masters of the Universe?
Never heard of it.
You don't know Masters of the Universe?
Mm-mm.
She-Ra and He-Man? Masters of the Universe?
Oh, I've heard of He-Man.
Okay.
And Shira.
Risk.
Okay.
The game Risk.
Never played it.
Get this. Sand, bucket, and shovel.
That's
I'm not kidding. Sand, bucket, and shovel is
just
on.
your run of the mill.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. The Settlers of Catan. It's a game. Have you ever heard of it?
No, but it
Okay.
just made me laugh for some reason.
And just a toy fire engine.
Okay.
The 12 toys represent a wide.
That was all 12?
That was 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, a piñata. Just randomly a piñata.
Who came up with these?
I don't know. But they say whether old or new, for kids or adults, all 12 toys are have greatly influenced play across the world, which I could see. I could totally see that. I mean, Cabbage Patch Dolls was totally the big thing when I was a little kid. I had so many Cabbage Patch Dolls, and they had diapers and bottles, and I carried around in like a little baby thing, and I was so the mom, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to be in timeout. You better clean your room. That's the mom that I was with my Cabbage Patch Dolls.
I can't picture it.
I know, right? Shocker.
So which would you pick?
I would probably pick a Cabbage Patch Kid. I love
Hall of Fame.
I loved my Cabbage Patch Kids.
I'd pick a Tamagotchi.
That's not in the list.
Well, I would petition to have it included in the running.
So, you know, our friend who has the 30. Okay. Did he send you some?
Yes.
He sent me some, and the kids loved them, but then they all died. And I was like, well, you have to wait for them to regenerate. And they're like, forget it. And it was gone. And I was like, what? You got to take care of your Tamagotchi. They're like, I don't want to take care of it anymore. I don't care. I'm like, okay. All right. And so on Wines Day, we always end with a Florida man story.
Oh, nice.
Somebody who's been arrested. Florida man, Florida woman. We don't discriminate.
Okay.
This is a local story for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Like the town you live in?
Like Jacksonville, local.
Okay.
A man walks into a car dealership wishing to trade his vehicle in for a new one. Happens all the time, right? Well, that is unless you're this Florida man, because it gets a little more interesting. According to First Coast News, in Jacksonville, police responded to Lake City Chrysler Dodge and Jeep, where the scene above played out as it does every day. But this time, it was different. When the dealership sales staff logged the VIN number of the man's trade-in in, they discovered this was in fact a car that had been stolen from their lot a few days earlier. They had stolen the car, taken it back to the same lot he stole it from, and tried to trade it in to get a brand new car.
No, that's not a real story.
It's true. The 50-year-old Lake City man was jailed and charged with grand theft auto, dealing in stolen property, criminal mischief, as well as petty theft. But he does get an A for aspiration. Also an A for arrested.
Listen.
What?
I've been on a lot of drugs in my day. And I've committed a lot of crimes in my day. And I have a general sense of like, all right, this is going to work. This is not going to work. Even super risky stuff, like really bad stuff. Even in my druggiest of drug cases, would I think to myself, no one's going to know. They're never going to know. How could they know? From a car, the same dealership, not a different one. What did he... Was it drugs? Like, what would you be thinking?
I always assume with Florida man / woman stories that drugs are usually involved because they do some really stupid stuff. Because you got to think, like, why didn't you just trade that bitch over at the lot? Because you know car lots are always right next to each other too, right?
One right next door.
Always. So it's like you got the Honda, you got the V-Dub, you got the Volvo, you got the Chrysler, you got the Kia. You can't go over and get a Sedona? What are you doing?
It was really, I mean, I know some car dealership are specific to the cars.
Right. But if you stole it from that lot, why would you think this is where I should go and return it? I mean, you think they're going to know it was there? That's what a VIN number is. Vehicle identification number. That's why people, when they steal them, they scratch out the VIN number so you can't tell what it is.
Have you ever Googled your birthday and then Florida man? Have you heard of that thing?
Yeah. Do you want to do it right now?
Yeah, I heard he did.
Oh, you know yours. Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. Let me do mine. Do you do it with the words or the number?
So there's an actual website that's it's called Florida Man Birthday Challenge.fun.
Okay.
And it pulls up the headline for your actual birthday. I don't know when it started or why, but there's a website specifically dedicated to this.
Oh, I have some real doozies.
I think you just go to this one website. I'll read mine while you're looking.
A drunk, shirtless Florida man was arrested at an Olive Garden after shoveling large amounts of spaghetti into his mouth and making obscene noises.
Is that what yours is?
There's tons of them. I have multiple.
On that website?
No, I just Googled and they all happened on my birthday.
Mine is Florida man rides manatee, dares police to arrest him, gets arrested.
Nice.
It's unlawful to chase manatees. However, that didn't forestall 47-year-old James Roy Massengill Jr. from leaping.
Massengill, like the douche?
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. He yelled, "I'm driving it," and then they arrested.
Driving it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Okay, here's another one from my birthday. Firefighters responded to a Niceville man's home at 5:30. They saw smoke coming from inside. A naked man opened the front door and said, "I'm sorry," and then closed the door again. Police officers arrived to assist. The man came back to the door again, naked, but quickly shut the door. Police entered and found the man's entire home was engulfed in flames. They tried to rush him out, but he said, "No, I'm going to stay." The man admitted to drinking 2 liters of vodka and smoking marijuana before setting his own house on fire. I mean, it always involves drugs and alcohol. I'm positive. Florida man suspected of smelling women's feet in public library, also on my birthday.
Jeez.
He then led the police on a scooter chase from the library.
That's so funny.
Violation of sexual offender and fleeing after crawling under tables and sniffing women's feet.
Ew. So weird, dude. I try not to judge, but
That's a tough one. Why you want to sniff someone's feet?
I mean, people have different kinks, I guess.
Yikes.
So this is our parenting podcast.
Look, I just figured we would talk through some of this stuff just because I'd already prepared for this damn show last night and then I got this migraine.
Totally.
And I was like, well, I got to use these stories. Some of them are good.
I'm glad that this is the place that we did it.
I knew you would enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as I enjoy them because I enjoy my stuff and my jokes way more than anybody else does. But
yeah, that's true. Look at me just yawning. I'm so tired.
You got to shake it out and you got to get on that mill.
I know I will.
What was that?
Hey, can I call you right back? All right. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Who was that?
The police.
Okay.
I just pick up the phone. I'm like, I'm sorry. And then hang up.
Yeah.
Naked.
All right. Well,
I had a 12 o'clock meeting.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's my fault. We were supposed to do the podcast way earlier and you called me and rose me from my slumber.
It was supposed to be 10:30, but I'm not going to say what time we were supposed to start.
It's so weird because on your page, you said, we're going to be doing the podcast around 11-ish. So I was like, oh, cool.
But I usually call you around 10:30 just to check. So
what's usual anymore? We don't even have a podcast.
That's the thing. But so you're right. You're right. You know what? You're right.
Thank you. I love hearing that.
Okay. All right. Well, with that note, I'll let you get to your meeting. I'll let you guys get to the rest of your day.
Oh, I'm not worried about it.
Okay. But we will try and do this again next week, right?
Yeah.
Because
Just like this.
we're home again. So we will.
Wait, I have to check my schedule. Hold on. Yeah, I'm busy. There's a manatee that I have to ride.
Okay.
So no, I'll be here.
All right. So next week it is. So we'll do this again next week because then we will be gone again for a couple of weeks because then my family is going on a vacation that has been long anticipated over the past 2 years.
Nice.
And then we are together again, but in Jefferson City, Oklahoma City, and Hot Springs, Arkansas.
I'm coming up with the topics for next week.
All right. You come up with the topics for next week, and I will see you guys all later, Gators. All right. What was our outro?
Join us next week for another episode of Take It
or Leave It, an advice-ish podcast for parents who have no idea.
Hosted by struggling moms
who have no idea what we're doing.
Yes. Thank you. We love you.
All right. Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I apologize. Dave said he was coming back and that was a lie. Am I supposed to hang up? Like, I don't know what's happening.